want me to close it, or? We probably should leave it open. Hey, I'm John Gibson. I'm the director at Serving You, and so we have a couple of different components. We'll try to clear the air on all those different things. But I just wanted to remind you in Matthew chapter 9, this word Saul. There's a word Saul that's used 7 times in Matthew 9. I'm not going to preach to you. I don't have time. I'm not a preacher. But anyway, 7 times it's used throughout the chapter. Like when the paralytic was lowered, Jesus saw their faith. When he called Matthew to be his disciple, he said he saw Matthew. When he healed the girl that really had died, he saw the crowd that was wailing. When the lady touched his garment when she was bleeding for 12 years, he turned around and saw her. Throughout that chapter, you see that word. And that word means, technically, that you're moved inside to do something. Okay? And so, at the very end of that chapter, Jesus said, when he saw the crowd, he had compassion on them. And he was moved inside to do something because the harvest was plentiful. And so, our heart is to see people where they're at and do something. And your heart, really, is to do the same thing, because y'all started this whole thing because you were moved inside to help Birmingham, and we appreciate that. So Serving You, we are the crisis relief side of the ministry. We help families that have lost work, gone through sickness, divorce, maternity leave, whatever their crisis is, we want to help them immediately. But through the years, I've noticed a trend of people coming back. And we're going to talk about Eli Thrive and their partnership with this. But I also want to make sure you understand the Grace Place, because the Grace Place came on board in November. They reached out to me. They're like, hey, we need a director. We're trying to hire somebody to. And so I looked up the Grace Place, which is where you're standing. And instead of them hiring a director and doing a separate ministry, the boards came together and decided to merge the two together. So in January 1 of this year, the Grace Place is now no longer really the Grace Place, it's Serving You Ministries. So we merged the two entities together legally through the IRS. And so we call a very catchy phrase, Serving You Ministries at the Grace Place. Really catchy. And so you'll see that. So I want you to know that the Grace Place is not separate, but it's under our umbrella now. And East Lake Mission is separate, but we have a partnership with them. And Myron's going to share about that. So that came in, and so as we started looking at the Grace Place, all they did here was food and clothing for people in crisis. And we wanted to do a little bit more, and so we came in January 1, actually. I've been coming for several months before that. And we implemented our utility assistance program for the working class, so any families that come in the working class that have lost work or different situations, we're able to help keep their power on, their water on, their gas on, things like that. So, but we want to do more. We want to help the families long term, and that's where Eli Thrive comes in, and their component of what they help in the long term. So I'm gonna have Myron share a little bit about Eli Thrive, and then we have some other people that are going to talk. I'll take you on a tour of the Grace Place, Serving You at the Grace Place, and then we'll do questions and answers. So we appreciate y'all being here. So Myron.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So good to see you all this morning. I'm Myron Thomas. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Eli Thrive. I've been around for a few years. I actually met John, our founder, Pam Bates. I met him when I moved here in 2017, and I retired from the Air Force and stepped into full-time ministry and got a chance to join the Eli Thrive team. Before I kind of go into what we do, I just want to thank John, because he's always been a partner that had a vision to say, hey, we're doing crisis relief, but we want to help families go on a longer term journey. We want to help disciple families, and we don't necessarily do that. If you've been there, you see that we're already doing that work together. But I love that we also have always had a desire to do more. And so from 2018, we just rolled up our sleeves and said, let's get to work. Let's start serving people. And we served hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families together, and many lives have been changed. But I also believe that we've had a vision for some time to also grow, and I'm thankful for this day. It's kind of bittersweet to look at these faces, and only God knows what what will happen and with your decision. But I just want to thank you for coming here and visiting us today and hearing about the work that God has put on all of our hearts to just continue to expand His territory. So with that being said, we offer that longer term stability of taking families from that crisis and working on economic stability. Let's work out that budget. Let's if you have a job, and you may want a better job one day, let's start working on your budget and getting your finances under control. You got to grow either in your career, your current career, or if you're kind of in a dead-end job, we need to get you some skills that may be higher level training at a university. Just depends on what that looks like, or trade these days. We help move the family in the direction that will get them to a sustainable job or career that they are excited about every day. And then the other is healthy relationships. Some have said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. We want the families that we serve to be put around good, strong, healthy relationships. And so many of the families that are in the program are like-minded, but also in many cases, the first person that many have said, many times the coaches, and we'll talk about that shortly, they're sometimes the first healthy relationship that they have encountered. So just helping them to see that you don't have to live a life of chaos and you don't have to be surrounded by friends who want to drag you down. You can have an uplifting small group of friends, church small group, just plugging them into healthy relationships. And then the last is homeownership. Many times it's those areas, and if we think about sometimes when people are in crisis, and when families start to look up and they can see their head rise above the water, and they're not just treading life, or just treading water, so to speak, they look toward homeownership. Where can the dreams kick in? And so at times that is homeownership, and we have a pathway to help them purchase a home. And we don't necessarily pigeonhole. We are building homes in the community of Eastlake, and we're looking to expand the product offerings that we have throughout the city, even maybe potentially down here. But we partner with a number of banks and just help families look for reasonable, safe, and affordable housing that they want to purchase. And with all that being said, out of all the services that we provide, the backbone really is the people that we call our navigators, our coaches. And Shonda Johnson here leads our coaching team. And I love for her to come up and talk about what that journey of navigating families and through their journey of crisis to their point of thriving. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Shonda Johnson, and I am the Director of Coaching Operations. So we have a dedicated team of coaches who walk alongside our families, providing them with the tools, the guidance, and the encouragement they need to thrive. We commit 1 to 3 years of coaching and resourcing to any family that commits to our program. One of the primary commitments that a family must make is to attend monthly coaching sessions. And our coaching sessions are guided by what we call the GPS principle, goal-driven. We help our families to identify and achieve goals that matter most to them. P is participant-centered. Our family's journeys are at the heart of everything that we do. We exercise a no judgment zone. So we meet them exactly where they are and help them to guide them forward. And the next one is S for strength-based. We help our families to identify the strengths that they possess, and we build upon those strengths to help them provide meaningful progress in our program. Our coaches empower our families to create lasting change, like Myra mentioned, in our 4 pillars of services. They are economic stability, employment, workforce development, housing, and healthy relationships. Most of the time, when a family enters into our program, they are in a crisis state. So our immediate response is to help to stabilize them. And so we do that through financial literacy classes. We do that through creating budgets, removing some of the barriers that they have by providing them with resources to help them achieve their financial goals. The next thing, once we're able to stabilize them and get them in a mindset that they're free to think, we want to have them to dream. We want them to explore their gifts and talents so that we can help to see if they're in the job that they wanted to be in. And if not, we want to use those skills to be able to find a better job, to help them to find a better job, but also to any job training programs or career advancement programs. And so the next step is housing. We want to make sure that our families have safe and affordable housing. And so we work with them to find safe and affordable housing. And those who are interested in home ownership, we help them to navigate that process as well. And like Myron mentioned, a lot of times with our families, they come in and they're ready to shift. And they have a mindset that they're wanting to change, but their circle of friends or their family members are not quite there yet. And so what we have done is develop the healthy relationship pillar that provides them with resources to be able to build a strong family dynamic and also to make connections with like-minded men and women who want to change their lives and do things differently. And so our ultimate goal at Eli Thrive and as coaches is to empower our family towards self-sufficiency. And we do that through kindness, compassion, accountability, and sometimes a little bit of tough love. Yeah. But if you have any more questions about our coaching program, Wendy and I can help you. She's going to be our site facilitator here at the Grace Place, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, ladies, we can't let the day go by without letting y'all know about some volunteer opportunities, right? Since I have y'all here. My name's Kristen. I'm with Eli Thrive. I am the community engagement girl, so basically my heart is volunteers. I love to work with boots on the ground, and a couple of your ladies in 100 Shares are boots on the ground. They volunteer at Serving You down at Eastlake, and I'm inspired by that because you don't just talk the talk, you're walking the walk, so I really appreciate that. But I'm gonna plug today some opportunities for you guys. Here or at Eastlake, our office at Eastlake, you can shop with our families, which is really cool because that you get to speak with them, encourage them to keep going, pray with them. Also, you can do that, and they love that. They love when people get engaged with them. And you know, the cool thing is, I've talked to some volunteers, and they say, "I came to be a blessing." And I walked away being blessed by your families. And they're so encouraging. So that's a great way to plug in. Our Eastlake office is open Monday through Thursday. And then here we also have Sunday for our Eli Thrive families. That's their day to shop for groceries and things. So what you would do is walk the pantry with them, help them bag their groceries and load their cars. We also have a community garden in Eastlake. And so it's really cool. Our families expressed the need for fresh vegetables and things, so we opened up a community garden. So we can have a garden party with y'all if anybody wants to do that. And we pick vegetables, we can plant, things like that. Warehouse clean, always down for a good warehouse clean. Yes, for sure. If you want to get a group up and come clean the warehouse with us, break down boxes, we sort cans. Those kind of things. And then I've got just some other, I'm going to hand these out to y'all if you want to donate. I was going to show you this. A company just recently donated these bags for our families, and this was kind of genius how they gave them to me. I was like, thank you for that. But what they put in here, basically just little hospitality bags. We got some soap in here, some wipes, Band-Aids, toothpaste, toothbrushes, just little things to hand out to our families. Another one of our church partners is actually doing recipe bags for us, which I thought that was really cool. They put all the ingredients in a Ziploc bag with the recipe, so we can hand those off to our families. That takes care of dinner for a night, you know, so helpful if you have kids. Very helpful. Let me think, I'm out of breath. I get so excited. So yeah, and I just want to thank y'all for coming today. I'm going to be the one, okay, so I'll tell y'all a secret. My background is in interior design, but I love to serve others. But one of my goals is to get in here and kind of transform the space for our families. What I've learned working with ELI and Serving You is we want to honor anyone who walks through our door, right? So giving them a space to feel that they can trust and they can, you know, we can encourage them and make it just feel homey. So I'm going to get in here and really bring this place to life a little bit, right? Okay, so I just want to thank y'all for coming, and thank y'all for everything you're doing, because your work is also just as inspiring. So thank y'all very much. And let me know if you want to volunteer. I'll give you a sheet too.
Well, I'm glad you're excited, Kristen. Hey, before we
What?
take, I said, I'm glad you're so excited. I'm excited.
I know. Because we're women and we empower others.
Right, right. Oh, no, that's right.
We do hard things.
I think sometime it may be later, but some people may have a question. Who owns this building?
That's right, yeah. I'll talk.
Just, I think, just to address that, yeah.
As she's passing that out, just want to give y'all a quick snapshot of kind of how the process works, because we will take a quick tour, but like we have 24 appointments here today. These are crisis appointments, okay? At the Birmingham location, we do 14 in the morning, 14 in the afternoon. So we're seeing a lot of people on a daily basis at both locations, which has opened up a lot of opportunities to see who would transition into the Thrive program. We kind of are the front door for a lot of the families that enter in the Thrive. We're not the only door, but we're definitely feeding a lot of families into the Thrive program, a good majority. So we want to start that here. Obviously, the grant would be part of renovating the space, and we'll talk about that. Just to give you an overview, the Grace Place has been here 10 years. Okay, this is a long-term relationship with Flint Hill, and we've signed a 5-year lease to go all the way to 2030. Now, I say a lease, they give it to us for free. You know. To do our kind of work, we need partnerships in the ministry. And they've been here since the inception. So we're not going anywhere from the space. And so we do pay the utilities and we share that cost. But for as far as paying rent, that's just not part of it. Now the Eastlake location, we started out just the same way. We were renting the space for $1 a year, and then it was given to us a couple of years later, so that's really nice. So anyway, I want to take you on a quick tour. Just to let you know, the families that you see coming in are the ones that come in like every 10 minutes for an appointment. And then we pray with them, and they get to, and here they get to shop for clothing, and we pre-package the food here. At the other location, they shop for groceries, but we don't have clothing there. So it's kind of a mix there. Is there any questions on the process before we take the tour, and then we'll take questions of the grant? We can take questions on the grant at the end. Is there any questions to kind of clarify the relationships or what we're doing?
How do people come to you? Are they referred to you, or are they just hung out?
Good question. I mean, we've been since 2009 doing this, so I think word of mouth is kind of part of it. But we have over 40 church partners. Serving You does. And so someone that goes into the church asking for food, utilities, which happens a lot, benevolence, those churches just hand them a sheet of paper and refers them to us. And that's a non-member. Now, if a member goes to that church, they usually handle it. It's a good question. We're on the 211 hotline and just word of mouth. Yes, ma'am.
How do you share the gospel?
Well, we go through the Romans Road. I mean, we pray with every person, with the chaplain that comes to Serving You. It's a one-on-one conversation, and we start out with just saying, hey, how can we pray for you? And as we discern where they are spiritually through the prayer requests, is whether our chaplains are going to share the gospel with them or not. You can know. You know when you start talking to someone and they start opening up about their faith, whether you need to share the gospel. So if there's an indicator that they're not a Christian or they're not, they don't have faith, then we just go through the Romans Road. We have a Bible that's tabbed. I may have one here. And it just goes through Romans 3:23, Romans 6:23, and we just go through, just the gospel, the good news. And they have the opportunity to accept Christ. We had 90 actually last year. Now look, we see a lot of people. So but 90 was a really nice surprise this year, and we refer anyone that makes a decision to follow Christ to the partnering church that they live in. Kind of that's the handoff. Since we're not a church, so it's a good question. Mm-hmm. I can promise you our chaplains definitely share the gospel. And a lot of people come out crying, so I think it's good. Any other good questions? I may add, someone can come here 4 times a year to get assistance. But if they go into the long-term Eli Thrive program, it's monthly. So there's some incentives they get food monthly. I don't think they're gonna do clothing monthly here. And then they have some more incentives built in if you're in the long-term program, utility assistance. Utility, yeah, a lot of incentives for Thrive families, for sure. But if they don't wanna walk down that road, because we're not here for the crisis relief is not for the long haul. It's just to get them through a crisis. If they need the long haul, that's the handoff. So, any other questions before we take the tour? I think I may be the tour guide. Are you the tour guide or am I?
Either way.
All right,
I'm happy to share with you.
John.
Oh, got a hand?
Okay, I think that you said this, so who actually owns this?
This building's owned by Flint Hill.
The church. It's owned by the church.
It used to be a school. This used to be Heritage. Actually, it was called something else, wasn't it? I don't know. It used to be called, I think, Heritage Christian School. And they still rent the gym that's on the back of the property and the baseball field. So the Heritage Christian Academy uses that space over there for their athletics. They used to be in this used to be, I mean, you could tell it used to be a school. And then in 2014, the Grace Place moved in here. And they've been here since 2014. And so we have a lease till 2030. But I mean, the pastor and I, you know, they're gonna be here as long as we want to be here, you know. So yes, that's a good question.
Are you gonna talk about renovations?
Yeah, during the tour.
Okay, thank you.
So, good question. Good question. All right, you want to take the back is going to be where the Eli Thrive coaching piece is going to be going on. And from there back is kind of the direct services, if that makes sense. And we'll go down there at the end. But so anything from here back is going to be painted. Now we actually already started painting one room. And all this carpet is going to be taken up. And we're going to do the vinyl plank. And all the ceiling tile and lighting. And you can probably tell the air conditioner's not working. That's all part of the plan if you look on here. As part of the upgrade. We're going to do LED lighting and things like that. But you want to share a little bit about?
Yeah, so the vision in here for Eli Thrive families would be a classroom. So we would set it up. We're going to have a TV on this wall. This would be where financial literacy classes take place. This would be where our lunch bunches would take place. What that is to Eli is we have speakers come. We feed our families lunch, and we have speakers come that our families have requested things that they need help on. And so the last speaker was domestic violence. It could be health and wellness. It could be exercise, things like that. So this would transform into a classroom for us. Have some tables, and of course we're going to paint, do ceiling tiles, flooring. You do. I'm just like, I'll take the pretty. I'm gonna do the pretty. You do the.
Have y'all ever been to our other spot? You'll see how nice. A lot of guys did a lot of the work.
I did, and my dad's so proud because he thinks I'm using my degree. So I'm like, thank you. He's like, call me when you use your degree. I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah. A lot of the volunteers did the work at the other place as far as building and all. And then she made it look really nice.
It did.
They even made my office look nice.
Okay.
And I had a great question from the floor.
Yeah.
And I just want to add this. We have currently in our Thrive Joint program, we have 122 families in Eastlake. Now, some of the families would have closer proximity to this location as we're coming here. We have already made our hiring. We've already hired staff. And we believe that we will add anywhere from 30 to 50 people, and we're looking to increase. So anywhere from 50 to 60 families will probably be added pretty fast.
Yeah, let's start June 1st. So June 1st is.
June 1st, it'll be our start.
It won't look pretty June 1st.
Okay, we're good. Okay, this would be our ELI lobby. So what we would do here is we kind of want to create like a little resource center for our families. That we also have one in the Eastlake area. So it's all the resources that our families can come by and pick up if they need to learn about, reading or literacy, anything like that. We keep all our pamphlets and flyers out on the front. So we want to create another resource center here. And then this would be our lobby area. We'd like to also create a coffee bar, of course. And again, just like, John, like the tiles and floor, all that
flooring,
part.
painting,
Yes.
furniture.
Yeah, for sure,
She's a good
100%.
furniture.
Yeah, we'd
person.
also love to give our coaches their own separate, we like to honor our coaches. They are the MVPs of ELI. We'd love to give them their own restroom. So that would also be in there for that.
Not in the grant, but we can rent it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't think we need to go to the bathrooms over here, but if you need to go to the bathroom.
Yes. And then back here, I'm gonna just tell y'all, so you can stroll through. This first office will be a coach's office, and then this big room too, we would like to put walls in for
I'll
a
show
couple
the wall.
other coaches.
Let's go back
to
here,
come down.
because the big room, we'll go in this,
Yeah.
y'all can see this is gonna be a coach's office here to the right. It's actually already painted in here.
Oh, yeah, that's over there.
I think I put on the grant 2 offices, but it has someone else come, I'll tell them, I'll share it. Question. On video still?
Yep, is that all right?
Great. All right, a little deviation from the grant is we found out that we can actually build 3 offices in here instead of 2. We're going to construct a wall right here going this way. So this will be a hallway right here that can lead. And then there's going to be 3 offices, like maybe one right here, so a wall here and a wall here with doors, and a wall, and this is going to be a closet. Okay, and then also we're creating a separate entrance for the coaches to come in right here. So I think that's part of there. I'm pretty sure it is. Create, exterior door and walkway. So the parking's out there, so we're gonna have a walkway that leads here instead of just being grass.
Yeah.
There'll be a separate entrance for the Eli staff and families, really. They can park in that parking lot, just come this way. Does that make sense? So 3 offices, and first we thought we'd just do 2, and then we're like we can get an extra one for growth. Won't cost anything. So we'll swing back through this way and then go out. I want to tour you all the rooms there. There's not a lot in the grant for what we have going on. There's one thing, but I'll show you that. But I want to show you the rest of it. That's all right. Okay, let's do it.
This is where we just were.
I'll get to go to the AC area now.
Y'all can wait.
Hey! Volunteer.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know all the volunteer standards now. Don't put pressure. The other place I do.
John, you let me know if you think I should cut video at any point in time.
I have a face for radio, is what they say. All right, so what we got going on here is just extra storage. We don't have a warehouse here like we do at the other place. So this is just we get a lot of Christmas toys. We'll put them in here. This is really just storage, diapers, and things like that.
Razors.
She is the site director here. In here, y'all welcome to go in. All the rooms are labeled. This is where all the food would come. That we get from Publix, Target, food banks. And they come in here, sort it. They sort it in this room, and then they stock the other room. And I can show you that in a minute.
Hey, I'm only
great.
This guy, things like that. Heard you say old coin. It's free brought some stuff up there.
Now, Publix, Target,
food bank.
Food bank.
Churches.
Churches.
We have 3 churches a month that donate.
And they, like this morning, they picked up from Publix, Target, in the local area. So
Yeah, we pick up from 3 different Publix.
3 Publixes. Okay.
Grace Klein.
3 times.
Y'all look anything on Grace
All right, let's roll on down.
Not
By the
gonna
way,
worry.
No, we've
this
taken, I've taken.
winter,
stuff
right
over
during
there.
Christmas break, we redid this floor. It used to be the old school tile here, so we have started doing some renovations. It made it look a lot better.
Except it was chipped up out there.
All right, this next room is, what's the video lady? What's your name?
Jenny Beth.
Jenny Beth. This is, they pre-package all the food to get to the family, so it's, you can see them doing that now. Depending on family size.
Thank you.
The other side is the shopping.
We get a food ticket like this, and then, here, I'll cover the name. And then we, get a food ticket like this, and then we pull off whatever's on the shelf.
Okay.
Go with that family. And then we have a lot of extra stuff. We added, and add meats and milk and bread.
From the refrigerator over there.
They don't shop, they just pick up.
This is our clothing sorting room in the hey ladies. So, and by the way, if you ever want to donate clothing, please let us know. You can drop it off here. We can pick it up. But these ladies here, they get all of the clothing donations and sort it according to sizes, and then they'll take that and go to those other rooms here in a minute. That's where the clothing is for the shopping.
How did that become a part of this location that wasn't where it isn't at the other?
It's just always, they just always done it here. I don't have the room
Just
over there.
continued it? Oh, okay.
I just don't have the room.
Makes sense.
So we like it. So a family now can go to either place.
If they need clothing, come here.
So it works out really well. There's no restriction. They need clothing. They do.
That's good.
They want to drive in. The clothing's free, obviously. Everything's free. Everything. All right. Y'all are welcome to go any of the next rooms, but this is the women's pants, shirts, dresses, girls' clothes, babies' clothes. And like we said, the families can go and actually shop, pick out.
Be careful, we might start shopping.
I think it's 6 items per child. No, not per child, per person. Per person. So.
Yourself and your daughter. It's just 1 pair of shoes per person.
It's 4 times. You good? Okay. This is where we share. This is where we share the gospel. Whoever has that question, it's where we talk with them and interact with them. Y'all are welcome to go. Get some of our volunteers here.
Okay. Y'all mind being on camera? Thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
This is a pretty room.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for volunteering.
Yes, ma'am. It's a delight. Welcome to our world.
Yeah, we do have a lot. This is just an office area. This used to actually be nothing, and we came in this winter and had an office space. We needed an office. Lynn, everybody. Lynn's the administrator. Women's coats, tops right here. We're gonna go in this room together.
I think so.
I think everything is back there that works. Okay.
Oh, this is my Easter shirt. I have one without the words.
Everybody come in here just for a second.
Yeah, let's find out.
Sorry to intrude your space. This is Carol, everybody.
Hello.
Carol's our volunteer coordinator. She's also a board member serving you and a very loyal volunteer. Very, very sweet. Now just y'all come on in here for this if you don't mind. Most of the grant money that we're asking for is for the area behind the double doors, but part of it is, yeah, you can tell, and if you look on the outside, you'd be able to tell this used to be a double door, a garage door, I should say. And so a lot of our, when we get donations, they have to come through the front door and all the way down the hall to that sorting room, you know what I'm talking about? So we would like for the donations to come through this double door. We're going to do some concrete work. It's almost complete. I mean, there's a lot of concrete out there anyway. And so it doesn't have to go through the people that are sitting and waiting in the lobby. You can just come in here and get sorted, if that makes sense. So it won't be crazy hard because it used to be a double door already. You can tell there's a ramp that leads down when you're outside. That used to be what it was. And so we're going to sort we're going to change some of the rooms around to create that as part of the grant. You can see that on there. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's if you look on the first page at the very bottom, that's part of the 100,000. That's a quarter of it. That's $25,000.
Yeah, it's a big job because you got concrete, and then a roll-up garage door. It would just be an easier place to bring the food in, bring the clothing in, without having to, and just so we just have to reorganize some spots.
So it's this door and then the space behind the double doors. Okay.
Most of that, all this rooms we just went in, I was just giving you a tour. Really, no part of the grant is for that. It's pretty well done.
How many square feet is that you?
Great question. That big room's about 700 square feet. And you got it's probably 2,000 square feet. By the time you factor in everything.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go back. We'll walk back to that room, take any questions, and then we'll rock and roll. Where I really appreciate it. Just want to go over just a little bit more, looking at just at the grant itself and the request to see if you guys have any questions. But I want to also affirm churches. I'll just be honest, churches have supported serving you since 2009. And churches just don't stop that support. I really appreciate that. It's just they just won't back away from it. It's a commitment. It's like a Christian commitment to one another. And this building is that same commitment. I mean, I sat with the pastor. I'm like, hey, can we stay? How long? He said, you can stay here as long as you want. We want you here because it serves the church. It helps use their building. It helps offset some of their costs to run their building utility-wise, because we do have that agreement. But it also blesses us because we don't have to pay for it. If I went and paid for something, I don't have money to help people. See how that works? So buying something, I mean, one day will he give this to me? He may. He may say, hey, this is yours. But he's already said that, hey, this is yours, So it's just what churches do. It's just a commitment. They're not going to kick the Grace Place out after 15 years. This is where it's always been. This is where people want it to be. So this is where we want to be. So I want to make sure you understand that a lot of places in the city that are Christian ministries like this, they don't always own their buildings. We got blessed by being given the building at East Lake, but we didn't always have that. It was one time we rented it for $1 from Church of the Highlands. I wrote him a $3 check one time. I sent it. I mean, this is so weird. It's Church of the Highlands. I really did. It was $3. Here we don't. It's $0 plus we pay utilities and the upkeep and stuff like that. This is part of the agreement. So, but just looking at the grant, see if you guys have any questions as far as what we're asking. Other than the garage door and the concrete work, most of the rest of it is going to be from here back to serve families long term with the Eli Thrive program. And I can promise you this: if you do support us, and we do really appreciate it, it's going to look. We're going to send some really nice pictures because this place is going to look really good. Because Kristen's, she does a really great work, and we're having a lot of help. So, definitely guarantee you that. Any questions on the, that I can clarify?
Do you have the contractors lined up?
We've gotten some,
No.
we've gotten some quotes for the flooring. Brian Flooring came out and gave us a quote, just to do, from here back. We're gonna do the painting, most of the painting ourselves, because we can paint. So, and then, we don't have a lot of the other stuff, but they build houses, and they have a lot of pull in the city with who to use.
Yeah,
and
already
so,
connected.
have a lot of connections, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't be real difficult,
Right.
to get it going. Okay?
If y'all go ahead with this and you do get the grant, the monies don't come till September. Does that affect you, or will you start ahead, or how does that affect?
Well, it's a good question. I've asked that question too. That's the question I asked. Because we do want to go ahead and get started. So I think we're going to start doing some things that we're going to finish painting and do some things, just because we want it to look decent in June, June 1st. But I mean, if we can't do everything, because we just, until we get the funding. And so it's a good question. I asked the same question. So, and I got the go ahead that we could go ahead and do some things. May need to get some air conditioning going in here. Maybe one thing.
This class where our families are it's mandatory that they attend that financial literacy class within the first year, and we partner with the AKA's Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority of Trustville, and they do a Ivy Scholar Academy where they provide reading and math tutoring for those children whose parents are attending the financial literacy class. Yes.
Probably one last thing I forgot to fail to mention that I think is important is we're really trying to reach the Hispanic community, because they're a hardworking class of family-oriented people, and so on the first Saturday of the month, we serve Hispanic families here with a staff of Spanish-speaking volunteers and Giovanni, who's on my staff, and we're also going to hire a Spanish-speaking coach that can, if some of the Spanish-speaking families want to get in the Thrive program, they can. And then in Birmingham, we do it on the 3rd and 4th Saturday of every month. So we're pretty much open every day of the week except Friday. So trying to just serve families. So that's all we're trying to do. So, all right. Questions?
I think this is for Shonda. You had mentioned there's 4 areas that you target. What are those 4 areas again?
Economic stability, employment and workforce development, housing, and healthy relationships.